Y'all, I promise, listen, pray for my mental health, y'all. Please pray for my mental health. Want to know why? It's because I'm a Philadelphia 76ers fan. That's why I'm saying pray for my mental health. Because I see the same story repeating over and over again. We had stretches in the season where we look promising. I think right now we just went on a 9 game or 10 game road win streak. And right now they just got snapped after an embarrassing loss to the New York Knicks in Madison Square Garden. I literally just finished watching the game and I felt like I had to make a video on it because my frustration right now is too much to bear. Like, I can't even go to sleep right now. How frustrated I am at the team. Watching the 76ers in the last few minutes of the game, we couldn't even grab a rebound on the defensive end. And it's frustrating to see your team not only down, but to see them keep giving up second chance opportunities while down. It's like the Knicks literally stole the heart out of us tonight, and it's ridiculous. Watching the starters run up to score big, and then Doc Rivers, for some reason, loves these all-bench lineups. And when these all-bench lineups get in the game, they look so anemic. They don't look like they even belong on a professional NBA court. It's ridiculous because we were up almost 20 points at one point in the first half, and then all of a sudden we're down. Third quarter, same story again. The starters run it up. We're up almost 10. And then once again, we finished the quarter very anemic. We finished the quarter with like what I think is a 2 point game at the end of the quarter, and we end up losing the game at the end. It's just ridiculous how this team is Embiid or nothing. And when he sits down for even 3 minutes, we cannot hold a single lead. And yes, I definitely do blame some of it. I blame a lot of it on Glenn Rivers, Doc Rivers, and his rotations. I just I don't understand why he be doing his rotations. But again, I can only give so much blame when the players are the ones that are out there on the court. The Sixers have no true backup big man, and this is a glaring problem that needs to be fixed unless we want to continue to be second round exits every single season. We can't beat the Bucks like this. We can't beat the Celtics like this. It's just ridiculous because Embiid has no rest, or else he's going to see the team run it up. It's kind of like that LeBron effect when he was back in Cleveland. How every time he'll sit down, the other team would get back in the game. I'm seeing the same thing over and over again for Joel Embiid and the Sixers. Now, the Sixers know this just as well as I do, and that's why they already called the Detroit Pistons to make a call. And they already called the Detroit Pistons to call and inquire about Nerlens Noel, the former big man that we drafted in the first round a few years back. It's a weird type of reunion that Philadelphia is not really expecting, or a potential reunion at that, because nothing's official yet. But the Sixers have definitely made that call, and it's interesting because just earlier this week, another player that we drafted first round, another big man we drafted first round a few years ago during the trust the process era, Jahlil Okafor, he just got signed to Delaware Bluecoats Philadelphia G League affiliate. So it's interesting to see all these players from the trust the process era come back to the team. I don't know how to feel about it, but at this point, as a 76ers fan, I will take anybody in the big man rotation over Montrezl Harrell and Paul Reed. They're just not getting the job done. And it's obvious because every time a B gets out the game, the teams attack the interior of our defense every single play. And it never fails. The most we could do is foul, and that's it. And I mean, I think that Nerlens Noel would be solid. He's not amazing, but he'll be solid enough to hold the fort down while Embiid sits out the game just because of his length and his defensive prowess. We don't really need extra scoring. Scoring's not really the issue. It's more so about interior defense. That's more the problem. I think our bench definitely needs to improve on putting up points. We just look anemic at times on the floor. However, I think in terms of what we need in a backup big man, we definitely need interior defense more than anything. And that's something that Nerlens Noel can bring to the game. Now, granted, he hasn't been playing much, hasn't got much production this season. He's averaging only 11 minutes per night. And his salary is $9.24 million for the season he's owed. So, and then he also has a team option after the season for $9.68 million. So $9.68 million is definitely kind of expensive for a backup big man. So the Sixers have to ask themselves, how much are they willing to pay for a backup big? And in my opinion, I think that they believe that this is a roster that could go to the NBA Finals this year, which I believe it could on paper. Then, they need to pay up that money. I don't understand why they even financially capped themselves by signing PJ Tucker to arguably one of the worst offseason contracts this year. But I guess they wanted to make James Harden happy, right? I guess, but $11 million a year for 3 points per game is ridiculous. I don't care what way you slice it. I don't care what veteran presence there is in the locker room. 3 points per game on $11 million is ridiculous. So again, if the Sixers are willing to show that out for PJ Tucker, then I don't see what stops them from getting Nerlens Noel. However, Nerlens Noel may not be the best option on the market. There's also Jared Vanderbilt, who seems to be a cheaper option because his salary is $4.37 million. So, and he'll still be under $5 million for the next season. So it's not a bad trade-off if we did try to get him. But again, it doesn't matter whether it's Nerlens Noel or whether it's Vanderbilt. We need to get somebody with interior presence on the defensive end, because this is getting ridiculous with the blown leads. It's getting ridiculous that Embiid can't get no type of management. Like, we can't even rest him or else we're going to lose our seeding. We can't even rest him or else the other team goes up. We can't rest him or else the team gets back in the game no matter how well he's playing. Embiid is consistently having 40-point performances. I'm pretty sure in the past 2 months he's been averaging over 34 points per game. And it's still us winning in close games. It's still us having blown leads. And again, I blame a lot of it on Glenn Rivers. But he's not the one going out there and playing. We need to get this together. Sixers front office needs to get it together before the trade deadline. I don't know how they're going to do it, but they need to trade. I don't care if they need to trade George Niang. I don't care if they need to trade PJ Tucker. I don't care if they need to trade honestly, at this point, besides Tyrese Maxey, the whole bench is disposable in my eyes. Do whatever y'all can to get a backup big. And if y'all want to dream big, go and get Kevin Durant since Kyrie Irving just left. And it's obvious KD's going to win out of Brooklyn. Granted, the Brooklyn Nets are very unlikely to trade KD to an in-division rival. But again, reach for the stars, because at this point, we're not winning a championship with this currently constructed roster. And I'm sick of it. I'm very frustrated. I see the story play out every single year. Second round exit. We get a couple win streaks. We have the talent every single year, but the bench underperforms. And this is something that translates into the postseason when the game slows down and it really shows what a bench could do for a team. You look at teams like the Milwaukee Bucks and the Boston Celtics. This is why these are teams that have been able to go back to the conference finals consistently over the past couple years. It's not just because of Giannis. It's not just because of Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. It's because of the bench and the depth in the construction of the roster. And right now, the Sixers are not giving me hope in that aspect. But if Sixers fans, other NBA fans, if you guys have any comments on what the Sixers are looking like right now and how in the world we're losing to the New York Knicks, then let me know in the comment section, because right now I'm frustrated more than ever. And I just pray for my mental health, y'all. Like I said at the beginning of the video, pray for my mental health. Oh my gosh, it's just, whew. Hey man, pray for my mental health. But it's your boy Teflon Perp. I'm going to see you on the next video. Hopefully Sixers can get it together. Hopefully I'll come back with some better news. But I'll catch y'all.